Learn it very plainly and tell me where you are and what you see.
I'm on an island.
Mm-hmm.
It's very warm.
Mm-hmm.
They're very tall, tall trees.
Uh-huh.
Mm. There's fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And high atop this island is a mountain. There's a trail worn very, very smooth
Mm-hmm.
and by lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
And smoke rises. It's a volcano,
Mm-hmm.
inactive. Or active. It's to the point that it has smoke rising from it.
Mm-hmm.
People are very, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Not real dark.
Enjoy.
There are a great many of them.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I would be 16.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a mother and father?
Yes, I have a very nice mother and a father who fishes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They fish with my father. They're older than I.
Mm-hmm. What is your name?
Miko.
Okay.
And my brother's name, my favorite brother's name, is Tokito.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 19
Mm-hmm.
and very tall and very strong. But my other brother was very serious.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to fish. He doesn't like to fish.
Mm-hmm.
He prefers to be, he wants to be one of the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
But that takes many, many years, and you've got to be a very special person.
Mm-hmm. What would he teach if he was a teacher?
Oh, he would teach the children the basic laws of living, and he would learn to be able to pick children that have more insight that would go on to become teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not picked to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And this rankles him. He feels that he should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So every day he goes and he bothers the other teachers and asking them why they don't let him teach. Why did they not pick him to study when he grew older?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell him, because you're not enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have the ability or the powers to go on
Mm-hmm.
and become a teacher. So he comes home and shouts at my father and shouts at my brothers, my mother and I.
Beautiful. Now we've been interrupted, but we're going right back to the place where you were on the island. Going right back now. You're going right back. On the count of 3, you'll be back at this place where you were. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. I want you to speak right up. I want you to go forward in time from where you were. You were 16. Let's go forward 4 years, and now you're 20 years old. Now speak right up and tell me what you see and what you're doing.
I'm walking on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I must hurry.
Why?
My brother has gathered a group of men around him to challenge the teacher's rights to choose people to be teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I must try to get there
Mm-hmm.
and talk to him and tell him that he mustn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers know best. The men that he has around him are misguided,
Mm-hmm.
confused.
Mm-hmm.
They're not using what they have for the best. They're using it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Audrey, you regressed in time, but when I hypnotized you, you were in 1969, in August of 1969. But I want you to look over the span of time from this and tell me what span of time that you're regressed to. You can do this because your mind knows all these things. What era of time is this you're regressed to?
It's just way over 5,000 years
In the past.
until we reached 1969.
Yes. All right. Now then, I want you to also, from this information that your mind has, tell me what island, what ocean is this island in that you're on?
It would be called, in 1969, the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. All right. Could you tell me what island it is? Is it a group of islands, or what island is it?
Yes, it's a group of islands. I'm on Loe Island. And our group of islands is called Mu.
Mm-hmm.
The island I'm on is next to the largest island,
Mm-hmm.
and it is near a place that there is no island there now, but later there'll be an island called New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
It's near there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 7 islands. One is very, very, very small, and the rest are medium-sized.
Mm-hmm.
And the largest island is the center island.
Okay. Tell me, what are the, do you have modern conveniences, or what kind of living conditions do you have there?
Comparatively very simple. We have no illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
We require very little in possessions.
Mm-hmm.
We are Any problems we have, the teachers take care of. We go to them with our problems.
Okay. Do they heal you if you have physical problems?
No, not heal after the physical problem is there. They take care of our physical problems before we have them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless someone refuses to be enlightened to take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, in school we're taught to train ourselves not to have physical ailments. Some people get hurt once in a while when they're fishing, but it's very minor.
Mm-hmm.
A broken leg or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher said it, take care of it.
All right. Now then, you have a language there, and on the count of 5, I want you to speak in this language, and then for just a little while, and then translate it to me in English. Number 1, now you can do this because your memory is all there in your subconscious mind. Number 2, you're getting ready for this. You're ready and willing to do this. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. Just speak right up to this language now that you spoke at that time.
Lukari, Moteri Kriki, Silipo, Velikoi, Monterivi, Hokoya, Silicon TV, Viatoy. Moterivi, Tissimo. Kotea.
I'm glad about the translate that English.
A saying. All that we feel inside ourselves is transferred to the outside. If you are well and at peace, you will be well and at peace outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I want you to go forward in time. Go forward 5 more years. On the count of 3, you'll be forward 5 more years. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Now then, you're 5 years older. Don't tell me what you're seeing and experiencing.
Oh, it's so sad. And I'm so ashamed. My brother has turned so many people against the teachers, and there's so much illness and so much sadness and so much confusion and strife.
Mm-hmm.
He's grown in power. He draws many people to him.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him, and I did talk to him. And now he doesn't even let us near him, his family.
Mm-hmm.
He sits on a throne, and he dictates, and he tells people, he weaves magic with his words. That the teachers want you to be ignorant. The teachers want you only to fish. The teachers want you to be simple. There are greater things. There are pearls. There are other islands. There are more people. that we must move and expand. We must take over other islands. We must forget what the teachers taught us. We must live for ourselves. All these things he says, and they're wrong, I think.
Okay.
But the teachers, I don't understand why they don't stop him. It's very hard to understand that they smile and they say this is to be.
That is good.
And I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go forward 5 more years now. On the count of 3, you'll be forward 5 more years. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Now you're forward 5 more years. Now what's happened?
My brother is in a very large boat. He sits on his throne at the head of the boat. And he has many men to row for him. And there are many more and more boats, and they're going on a voyage. And they are going to conquer more islands. And they've asked me to go, and I don't know what I should do. They have lots of water and coconuts. They say it'll be a very hard trip, and many will die. But they must leave the teachers in order to grow, and they say they must be their own masters. They cannot have the teachers be their masters anymore, and I'm very confused. I don't want to leave my home, and yet maybe my brother is right. I feel like I'm being torn in two. I've gone to the teacher, my teacher, and I've talked to him, and he won't tell me what to do. He just sits there and says, "You will do what you need to do." You have been taught, and you know inside yourself what you should do. That this is now. Oh, I'm wondering which I should do. My mother is no longer with us. Maybe I should stay and take care of my father. But he says, no, he doesn't need me. And there's no man on the island for me.
All right, let's go forward a little bit in time. Going forward a little bit in time. Now you're forward in time. Now what's happening?
We're at sea. I'm very hungry. We've lost many people. There's not much food or water left.
Well,
But my brother believes we'll find land soon. I hope he's right.
indeed.
The sky is getting very dark. I can barely see the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is frightened. They're saying that it's because we left our teachers in our island that we're being punished.
Repeat.
Oh, I hope not. It's like fine ashes. Fine, fine ashes are falling from the sky. They're gray, like a mist of ashes. The sea is growing very calm and dead. Oh, behind us. Oh, there's a wall of water. I guess this will be the end.
What's the wall of water doing there?
I don't know. It's coming towards us all.
Mm-hmm.
How the water is being drawn up.
And the film?
Oh. Everyone is on their knees, cowering in that boat. We can't see the other boats. It's too dark, but we can see the water. Mm-hmm. It's very close. Very, very close. Oh.
Yeah. All right, so we're going through the transition now. You're on the other side. Now I want you to tell me what you're experiencing.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. Did you perish in the boat and then just burn?
No.
In boat?
It swept us.
Mm-hmm.
Its crest. Many people were washed overboard, but we landed on an island.
Mm-hmm.
A very beautiful, beautiful island.
Okay.
And my brother was right. We were meant to leave our homeland and find a new home to preserve our race and to go on.
Were there people on this island you found?
No, it was uninhabited.
Okay.
And my brother was the leader for his lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I was his partner.
Mm-hmm.
And we have built a new land, and our race will go on. And actually, my brother was the greatest teacher of them all. His greatest feat in teaching was fighting the teachers. He was supposed to. He was supposed to preserve a great amount of us because our home island was destined to disappear. Mm-hmm. And all would be lost. So his reason for being as he was he was not to be indoctrinated among the other teachers. He was to fight, even not really knowing why, to be able to take a group of people to another island, so as not to allow all the people to perish so that life could go on and more seeds could be planted on another island. We're a very old people.
Good.
I can see that now, looking back through the different eras.
From your vantage point there, is this, you call yourself old people, are they present in 1969? The race?
Some of the people, yes.
What races do they come into?
And they are, of course it's watered down a great deal, the line, but in the Polynesian races, Oriental races, many of the white races and Negro races, and many of the Indians from Mexico all have a touch. Through era after era, we moved to different places and left our stamp. There are people with knowledge that they wonder about in 1969, and it dates back to the people. They're known as the seedling people. They planted our seed in many places and it spread wide. We're a very peaceful people. Sometimes corrupt. Sometimes we went down wrong pathways. But always with an ingrown drive to move onward and to grow.
Yeah, I want you to go forward from where you are. You once told me about being a Viking. I want you to go into that because you'll be in the Viking. Number one. Number two. Number three. In this lifetime of the Viking. What is your name?
You want my name?
Mm-hmm.
Eric.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I am 29.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I conquer. I go from place to place. I find new lands.
Mm-hmm.
I put our stamp. I put my foot. I put our mark in new lands.
Where you visit?
Because I'm a Viking. And that's what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're very strong people who had a great people.
Read to in a language that was not English then. On a count of three, I want you to speak this language. Talk to me a little while and then translate it into English. Number one. Number two. You're ready for this, man. Number three. Just speak right out.
Chikobao. Jikea. Chiku. Ah, Jayla cool. Shihio. Hikyo. I tell you what I said.
Okay.
To eat. To drink. To conquer. That is living.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now then, once you turn loose of this lifetime, I want you to take a look back very far, way beyond your blue and way beyond this, into something else. On the count of 11, you'll be back, way back, past all of these lifetimes. Number 1, feel yourself going back. Number 2, going back more. Number 3, letting it happen now. Number 4, going way, way back. Number 5, you feel as if you're going way back. Number 6, you can get impressions now. Number 7, getting stronger impressions. Number 8, getting pictures now. Number 9, very clear, pictures clearing out. Number 10, you're almost there. And number 11, there you are. Now, just speak there and tell me what you see.
Oh, the mists are beautiful. The colors are blues, greens.
You see?
There's no way to describe the colors of the mists.
Mm-hmm.
And the beings are very beautiful.
Right.
The light around the being, so clear and white. We move through the mists and feel the mists and the colors and all the impressions that are there and the thoughts that are in the mists.
Mm-hmm. Where are you?
I'm on with Venus.
Mm-hmm.
The sound, there is no sound except in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Outward sounds none.
Mm-hmm.
Visual sounds are all not outwardly in your sight. They go through your mind.
And play.
And thoughts. And touching our minds.
Mm-hmm.
All linked with one universal mind.
You bet.
It is very, very beautiful, and I shall hate to leave, but I and many of my mind partners, touching partners, we will leave here.
Where did it go?
First we will go to a planet called Mars, the red planet. And there we'll become ready, and then we will go to the planet that will be called Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be much, much work to do. Many, many lifetimes, short as they are or short as they will be there, but there will be many, many lifetimes.
And play.
And we will develop not only ourselves, we will have to start developing all over again. But while we develop and while we grow, we will be helping others grow. We will be in many forms and many eras, many times of strife and confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have resting periods during which we may rest and make our plans and our programs for what we wish to do next. We will communicate with others.
Do you have any communication with Venus while you're on Earth?
Not while we're on Earth in the sense that we will know that we have communication with Venus. There'll be many of us that get feelings or short periods, so when we sleep, that we will have an association with Venus. But when we awaken while we're on Earth, we will not realize or assimilate this data into that fact, because we cannot or will not be allowed to shout our knowledge. In other words, our knowledge will not always be, full knowledge will not be ours while we're on Earth.
How long have you been on Venus?
Oh, in terms of years, in your sense of years, I could not begin to tell you. But a very, very long, long, long time.
And
We are not beings and forms. We are light.
The purpose of this whole kind of office.
It's a reward to be on Venus. We are linked directly with the universal mind, which is also expanding. And the reward is not like, you give a reward because someone has been good. It's a step, a platform that we have reached.
entry.
It's complete knowledge, peace, freedom, the perfect, complete answer to a very hard, very complicated mathematical problem.
What is your activity on Venus? You know, we on Earth have certain activities and certain things we do. What do you do on Venus?
Communicate. I think that's the best word, communicate. We have the use of the universal mind, and we are each an extension of the universal mind. It is the sharing of everything, communication with all, in complete beauty, the knowledge of an insurmountable, it seems like, amount of knowledge.
Good.
We have no duties as such, but we do have, we're required to, we have the knowledge that we must go on and lose this knowledge to a degree. And in doing this, we will go to the planet Mars and become very animal-like for a while, then come to Earth, in order to acquaint ourselves and bring ourselves down, I guess would be the way.
Why are you doing this?
Because all entities, anything with a mind, the brain, has a right to the universal mind. But many minds are closed to the universal mind. They have like layers of, it's a very hard word, dross, layers and layers, separating them from the universal mind. And through generations and generations of work, this can be cleared off to where someday they can use the universal mind and realize there is a universal mind. Right now, the planet Earth is very just really beginning to be. It will develop, and when we get there, there will be the minds that are developing will just begin to be developing. They will all be coming up from evolution, have gone through the stages. This is another reason why we must go through the animal-like stage, because the human mind has gone through this, so that we can know what it's like to be so confined.
Understood. Hello?
Now then, you're on Venus. I want you to go back in time beyond this galaxy. Go back in time beyond this galaxy. On the count of 3, you'll be back in time beyond this galaxy. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Just speak right up and tell me what you see, or where you are.
Millions and millions and millions of light years away from Venus. Venus is now a speck of dirt in the sky. It's not even a planet yet. It will be. The universal mind is here. And there are other places to develop. There is a very beautiful, beautiful place near here. It is the companion or similar to your Earth. But it is so, so beautiful. The inhabitants stand straight and tall. And they're very golden. The lands are very green. The seas are very blue. And it's very peaceful.
What is this place?
It is called Machu. And it means the same as Earth. All planets, basically, their names mean the same thing. They're just called, pronounced differently, said differently, spelled differently. But all people, basically, and all inhabitants of planets call their place equivalent to what you call yours, the Earth. It is the anchor for their feet, the place they know. And when they grow and when peace comes, it's very, very marvelous for them.
Okay.
When they can use the universal mind, when they can communicate with each other. It's very, very beautiful. This planet is very, very, very high on the evolution. They have worked very hard and come through many, many eras. It's very, very nice.
What do you do there?
I am, or have been, all through my times on this planet, I have been a teacher in many different forms. And I am still a teacher. For although we now have knowledge of the universal mind and everything may use it, they still have a great ways to grow because someday there will be no need for shells to live in, bodies. There will be no need for arms, legs, what have you, because there is a future of being completely part of the universal mind.
And with
Then these members of the universal mind will go on and seed another place, and will help another place grow towards that goal.
so I want you to go back even further. To go back beyond all of your lifetimes, beyond all of your lifetimes on any planet, beyond all of your lifetimes. Start counting 11, you'll be back beyond all of your lifetimes on any planet. Number 1, number 2, you feel yourself really going back now. Number 3, you're ready to do this, the impressions of your mind are all there. Number 4, number 5, going right on back. Number 6, picking up impressions now. Number 7, number 8, getting pictures now, very clear. Number 9, number 10, and there you are. Number 11, there you are now. Now tell me what you experienced.
I really can only say one thing. There is no beginning, and there is no end. Everything goes on and on. In many ways, everything is repeated again and again, and there is no beginning. It's like a ring on your finger. You cannot find, if it's a good ring, you can't find the beginning of the ring, nor can you find the end. So what I experience now is what I experienced before: teaching, growing, reaching the universal mind. The universal mind is the complete circle. It is there, all knowledge of all time, but has no beginning.
Alright, I want you to go into the higher state of the universal mind, where you can look from there and talk from complete knowledge, complete wisdom, and on the count of 3, you'll be there. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and you're in a higher state of all knowledge and all wisdom, complete knowledge and wisdom. And then, what do you feel like now?
At peace, far-seeing, far-reaching.
At width.
I see many things. I see a single cell struggling to divide in two. I see an animal being driven to find its food. I see the people being driven to find enlightenment. Although they are so beautiful, with all their faults and all their problems, they are still so very, very beautiful. Each one reaching out to clasp knowledge, and each one reaching further to get more knowledge.
Gaki.
the darkness and blackness of space is really not black. There's light.
Yeah.
Each growth problem, as it is solved through the eras, and the answer is arrived at, and entrance to the universal mind has been achieved, is greater than the one before. During the time of reaching and growing to this enlightenment, there is more accomplished each and every time. It's very, very marvelous.
I want you to look from that vantage point planet Earth in year 69. First look forward from 1969 and tell me what is in store for this planet.
Well, many, many, many things. Looking forward from 69, there are great, tremendous, sometimes frightening changes being made in the people. They are growing so fast. They are becoming great sources of light. But there's great strife in this growing. Great many people holding on to the past, to the good old days. And yet, there's soaring into the skies. There's exploring on other planets. There's discovering of many marvelous, marvelous things. And the young people growing faster and faster. There's great hope for each new generation as it comes through, because each generation is going to expand more and more than the generation before. The changes on the face of the earth will be an enormous amount. The continents will change in shape. The centers of culture will change. The people will change. They'll be much more open and freer. There will be a gradual loss of need for war. People will learn to control their birth rate, because this has been the reason for wars, and is because there has been no control on birth rates, and Earth will only hold so many people. The future is very, very bright for Earth. Very bright.
Looking from 1969, what about the space explorations? What will be the next achievements in this? We've landed on the moon now. What will be the next achievement?
Well, there'll be a great deal of exploring done on the moon. They will discover in the dust and the rocks something they can use. They also will build a base on the moon, mainly because the moon is a great and a good place to jump off. Well, not to jump off, to push onward for more exploration. And they will explore Earth, but there will be no traces of inhabitants of Mars left. They have all been eradicated to where Mars will appear to be the dead planet that people expect it to be. Small amount of leaching growing. But life as the people of Earth would expect to find will not be on Mars. and they will attempt Venus. And that will be a very large problem. There are a great deal of myths, and they will have to build a special type of conveyance to convey them to Venus from above Venus. And there will be 3 men go down to Venus. There are myths close to Venus. It'll be a great tragedy then, but Earth will overcome her tragedy and go on for more exploration, although it will be at a standstill for quite a while.
This is August of 1969. Now, looking from your vantage point there, in the universal mind, let us look and see what is man's greatest need now on the Earth planet.
Learning the man's greatest need
At this point in his evolution.
right here at this in 1969. His greatest need is to communicate. The ability to communicate with other men. Not to say one word and be thinking another word. This is something man must overcome. He must learn to communicate truthfully and completely with the other men. This is what the younger generation is trying to learn now. This is what they're trying to project, this truthfulness, this wanting to wipe away all the little side lies, the hypocrisies.
What's the best way to do this at this time?
Well, where evolution is at this time in 1969, mankind is not ready to communicate through thoughts, direct thoughts. If each man would make only the steps for himself, and when he speaks to anyone else, if he will speak the truth, for every man that speaks the direct truth to his fellow man, a second man will start speaking because of this, and it will grow. It cannot be done overnight.
Okay. How long will it be before wars will be ended on Earth?
Well, basically a long time. Because, as I said, man must learn to control his birth rate before wars and strifes will be ended. I would say it would be at least 5 generations before war is no longer needed on Earth. War is needed on Earth at this time. The little wars that we have, not wiping out wars. But the little wars we have are needed because people will not control their birth rate.
Will there be another
This
war?
is still the animal instinct to preserve the race. But we must use control in preserving the race.
Will there be another world war?
No. There will be wars going on all the time with great losses. Will be very different from the government as we know it now.
You said that there ceased to be wars in 5 generations. How long is a generation?
A generation would be considered a generation is considered a lifespan. approximately 65 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
While you're speaking from this higher state of consciousness, now, is there anything else you want to say about the future of the world?
The main thing is that in order to attain complete enlightenment, you must go through a great deal of strife. You must clean yourself of all the petty little things. And it's not done in necessarily one generation or in 20 lifetimes. Mm-hmm. It's a very, to you it would seem like a very